Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to Rusty Relic Auto Salvage. This morning we're heading out to go grab a skid steer. I have no idea if we're going to be able to save it or if it's just going to be scrap. But without further ado, let's go get it. Well, you guys see me grabbing this skid steer. It was listed up on Facebook Marketplace, and I didn't even try to talk the guy down. It was at a very, very good price, so I just told him I would take it, asked him what his availability was, and came out and got it. So it's got foam-filled tires. It's got an old Deutz diesel in it, 3-cylinder. It doesn't run, and I tried hot wiring it because the wiring is a nightmare in this thing. Didn't really work out. Even with some starter fluid, it still wouldn't start. I'm not really sure what's going on with it, but you know, whatever. We're going to go ahead and sell that skid steer to an equipment salvage place that's just on the other side of town. We're going to keep the wheels and the battery and a few other odds and ends, like the bucket and the forks, and then they're going to go ahead and pick up what's left of that machine. It's not something I want to mess with, and it's just, I don't have time for it. So we're just going to send it on down the road and move on to what's next. Well, we got the foam-filled skid steer tires on. And like I was saying, they don't have the best of tread, but not having to worry about flats, which truth be told, I don't think I ran anything over. I've had an issue in the last 2 years where about every 3 to 5 months, I'd say, well, all of a sudden I'll have the same tire go flat. I'll pull the tube out and there'll be just a little teeny tiny cut in it, and it doesn't make sense that I would have had a puncture because there's nothing in the tire. There's no damage on the tire. So what I'm thinking is, and it's hard to tell once I get the tube out of there, because I don't pull the tire completely off, but I'm thinking there's like a little rust spot or some little imperfection in the metal of the rim that's cutting into the tube slowly over time, and got to keep replacing the tube, which I suppose isn't the end of the world, but these are not very easy for me to mess with, so I would rather just swap over to these. I know this skid steer is about to the end of its life. These will work long enough for the amount of time that I need it for. But either way, I will still keep these ones around just in case. Alright guys, we're heading out to that property cleanup. I gotta go grab a Yukon and some other stuff that you'll see here shortly. Got another load of scrap. Got 3 snowmobiles, old lawnmower, and a quad. Heading back to the yard. We are going to go ahead and list some of those items that we just picked up, like the mower and the snowmobiles and whatnot. My goal is to try to find a home for them for somebody that wants to repair them, because I do think that they're worth repairing. So we'll give it a week or so, and then after that, we'll just send them to the shredder. Well, I didn't really get a chance to film it, but I sold those snowmobiles, and I sold the 4-wheeler as well, the wrecked one. I got all that stuff along with a few other odds and ends with the burnt Yukon, but I'll show you a closer look at what we still have left. We still have the Simplicity tractor. I have no idea if it runs or not. I know it's missing a few motor parts. There's no deck on it. It has a plow blade. It actually came with a snowblower attachment too, but it was pretty mangled, so I just tossed it in the tin pile. Then we got this go-kart. There's no front wheels. Pretty sure the motor's blown. It's just held in by the cable at this point. It's a really good start to a good go-kart. I got a couple of really cool ideas for it, but I don't have a whole lot of time at the moment. However, if you guys would like to see this get revived and see it back in operating condition, let me know in the comments below and I will make it a priority and we will get this thing back going again. Got another one draining. Oh, we got some more scrap in. Got a couple of propane tanks and another tote of stuff. Looks like some rims and some other bolts. Kind of looks like bolts down in there. Hard to tell. It's like a bell housing. Some pipe. Yeah, just a bunch of stuff. We're starting to kind of fill up this little corner a little bit. It's still accessible for now. Hopefully we can get on that soon and get that out of here. Go ahead and get this parked out back. I'm trying to clean up this area. Like I said, this whole wood pile needs to go over here so that way I can extend the scrap pile clear out here. I've actually been selling some of the cars that we have that are repairables, just because for me it doesn't make sense to crush a perfectly good running and driving vehicle if it just needs a little work, like tires or, you know, maybe a battery or something like that. And we do get that quite often, so I've been selling those off. There was two vehicles sitting here. Those are now gone. There is that black Enclave up there. That's actually leaving at the same time. Well, it'll be leaving here in a couple of days. So, but let's go ahead and get this van jumped. We'll get it driven out back and go ahead and get rid of it. Well, we're getting this area cleaned up now. This is kind of the back corner of the yard. Some of this stuff has been sitting here for years and years and years. This is actually where I used to store my used oil, just in that container right there, and then I would put it in those little containers and I'd haul it off to wherever I could dispose of it. But I need to get all that moved. I'm going to keep the roller, the wagon, the toolbox. The rest of this I think is just going to go to the tin pile. We'll chuck the bed liner and whatever else plastic in the dumpster, along with all that wood. All the metal you see here, we'll just throw it in the new tin pile. Some of you guys might recognize this spot as where we used to keep our aluminum breakage in our older videos. But as we grew, it just became too small of a spot to store it all, and it wasn't real convenient with where it was. So eventually we moved it to another area, and then not too long after that we ended up with the box to put it in, which has been a huge convenience for us. But let's go ahead and get this cleaned up. Alright guys, that does it for this one. If you haven't already, please subscribe to our channel. If you like this video, go ahead and smash that like button and share with your friends, and we will catch you on the next one. Later.